They wanted me to be on there full time. I turned it down because Tom Arnold was on there, the comedian. Mad respect to him. It's just that I knew sitting next to a comedian every day, I wasn't going to be taken seriously, and that would be a death knell. So I was making, what was it, like $75,000 a year working, and Fox Sports came to me and offered me 3 years, 1.5 million or so, and I turned it down because I was like, that's not the long game. If I take this now, I'll never get to a place like ESPN or something like that because I would have been sitting next to a comedian and they would have thought we were all about jokes. And so instead of doing that, John Sally, they ultimately went to him, but they kept me on as the NBA analyst. And I would do that, and then ultimately ESPN came calling in October of 2003. And that's when I started at ESPN, and everything just took off from there.
So how long did it take you, obviously you're king of sports media right now, but how long did it take you to find your voice, become comfortable being on camera, and being able to give takes and deal with the controversy, backlash, deal with athletes obviously coming for you for the things that you have to say?
I've never really viewed myself as somebody who had to find my voice. I've always been me. I mean, if anybody that talks to me, that sits down and raps with me, that get on the phone with me, whatever, I pretty much sound the same all the time. I might sound less loud, but I'm pretty much the same guy. And the reason why is because even though I graduated with a degree in mass communications, you know, I never studied television. So I was writing for the school newspaper and ultimately writing for Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Winston-Salem Journal, New York Daily News as a high school reporter before I went to the Philadelphia Inquirer. So it was always writing. The television came into play when CNNSI auditioned me in their Atlanta studios. I knocked it out of the park. They brought me on the air. That transitioned to Fox Sports and then ultimately ESPN. But it was never about finding a voice because I was like, I'm not trained in terms of being on camera. So know what you're talking about, be as real and authentic as you can possibly be in expressing yourself and let the chips fall where they may. And lo and behold, you know, the Lord blessed me enough the people loved it and they gravitated towards me, and that was when they gave me the show, quite frankly, a couple of years later. But it was also my work ethic because you signed a deal, and you, with ESPN at the time, you signed per appearances. So I was getting paid like $1,000 an appearance for 225 appearances a year. And then the boss, who was at the time Mark Shapiro, who's now the president of William Morris Endeavor, he was the boss at ESPN at the time. And he lost his damn mind because he got a bill for $550,000. And he said, this is $325,000 more than I signed this man for. That makes no sense. How the hell did that happen? And the producers were like, we love him, and he never says no. When we want him on the air, he goes. So they had penciled me in for 225 appearances, but I did 550. And so when I did 550, he was like, when does this dude sleep? And so he saw the numbers, he saw the way people gravitated towards me, he saw me put me on NBA shoot-around is what it was called at the time instead of countdown. And when he put me on NBA shoot-around and stuff like that, and the ratings took off and all of that, he said, yo, I'm gonna give this man his own show. And that's how it happened.
So you talk about the grind, but you know, I think a lot of people look at you, we see you all the time. I'm gonna see you on First Take, I'm gonna see you on YouTube, now I'm gonna hear you on the radio, but what's the average day like for Stephen A. Smith, and how do you balance all your professional obligations with your personal life?
Well, I think balance is overrated.
Me too.
I think balance is overrated.